Good evening. You know what time it is? It's coffee time. That's right, with Michael Sanchez. How's everyone doing today on this beautiful Tuesday evening, December 2nd? Been a nice day. A little on the chilly side, a little rain, but not too bad. And I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk to everyone out there. Hope everyone's having a great second day of December. Today we got a Mississippi Alexander. He is the author of Prison Doctor, Avenger of Blood. Man, that sounds interesting. Um, his partner here, Lisa Dobry, as well, who's also here as well. And we're going to talk about his book, Prison Doctor. Sounds very, very interesting. But so we can get a hold of Mr. Alexander here and learn more about him. Uh, hey, you
Hi,
there?
Michael. It's Lisa Dobry. How are you?
Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm up here in Chicago, man. It is just freezing up here
Well,
today.
I know it's brutal. You guys got the Great Lakes over there. What's the temperature over there now?
So I just got a text from Mississippi, and he's saying he needs the link, and I'm like, I sent that to him in his email earlier, so he's a little bit delayed. So you just
That's
caught me at
fine.
the
That's
moment,
fine.
apparently.
That's fine. I got you here. So what's the temperature over there in where you're at?
Oh my gosh, I think we're down in the low 30s.
Yikes! Yeah,
But Chicago, it's known as the Windy City, and there's a reason for that. It's like, our wind is where our real temperature drops come from. So it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
right. Yeah, and I know you guys get those that stuff from the Great Lakes, from those lakes. It's just not cool. Oh, yikes! Anyway, so how's it going today for you?
It's a good day. It's an exciting day. You just get over the holidays, looking forward to the Christmas holidays. We've been super busy, just doing a lot of live events, in our local community, connecting, with readers at different, some simple things like craft fairs and little vendor fairs, so little neighborhood type things, and it's been so much fun. It's been keeping us really busy.
That's cool. I decided to move from one place to another, uh, just what, 2, 3 days before Thanksgiving, and I'm still feeling it. I am still. I feel like I've been busted up. Like I've been at 15 round, and I lost every single round. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But you know what? We made it to the new place, and I'm happy. But my body's like, you need to chill. You know what I mean? So, I don't know when he's gonna get here, but it's very interesting. I see that you collaborated. What does he prefer, Mississippi or Anthony?
So Mississippi is how he's known here in the author world. But you can call him Anthony if you'd like.
Gotcha. I like the fact that what his college students gave it to him his nickname, huh?
Right, right. He, was one of the only Black Southern students that were in his circle up here at Northwestern. And so it kind of became this little, and in fact, if you go out anywhere with him, with any of his college people, if you call him Anthony or Tony, they don't generally know who you're talking about. But as soon as they say, yeah, 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 Mississippi, then they know him. So,
Wow, that
and it's kind of became this, hey, Mississippi, hey, what's going on? Hey, Mississippi.
is. I thought it was a joke, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "Hey, Mississippi." I thought it was. I said, "Is that real? Is that really real?" Wow. How many people are called Mississippi? You know what I mean? Really, for first name.
Right, right. It's kind of catchy, and it
Yeah.
just it kind of takes him back down to the roots. He grew up in southern Mississippi in a little tiny town, very family oriented, very just a really lovely area. You wouldn't even know about it. It's outside of Jackson, teeny tiny little town. I mean, it's so dark out there. If you go out there at night, you're not even going to be able to see in front of your footsteps,
Oh
unless
no.
you've got some kind of lighting or, the stars are out that night. It's really, really, rural where
Is
he
it the
grew up. So
place where you drive by, and in a blink, it's you already passed it? One of those places.
little town called Suntag.
One traffic light, one of those deals. It does
I'm
have like
sorry. I'm
lights.
texting him back. He's still trying to get in. I'm like, he's like, send me the link, and I'm kind of multitasking here, trying to get him
Uh,
in here.
no, you're
He got
cool.
held up late tonight. I called him, and he was still in a meeting.
No,
I was
no,
just
you're
giving him an FYI on the time.
uh,
So
no, no, you're fine. You are fine. You are fine. I see. He has several engineering degrees, and but decided to go what for the doctorate,
that's
medical
right.
doctorate. Yo,
That's
that is
right. You know,
wow.
he's one of those people that he's very very soft spoken, but he just brilliant.
Yeah, I see. He's got a lot of brains there.
I can say that he would never say that out loud to you. I can say that. He's one of those people where it's kind of like you start a conversation and you're like, how do you know that?
Yeah,
Because his knowledge on, diverse topics, are just, it's very solid. It's not, yeah, yeah, and that's kind of how, this whole book thing kind of started. It's
yeah.
kind of how, the prison doctor Avenger of Blood kind of was birthed. During COVID when everything was shut down, he's a busy brain and he couldn't do the elective surgeries. Everything was shut down. Golf was shut down. Restaurants were shut down. And so, he was trying to find a way to occupy himself.
Interesting,
And so,
interesting.
he
So
he
the
called me up one day, he's like, "I'm gonna write a book." And I'm like, "Okay, well, you go do that." And, um, he
you
texted
will do
me, I
that.
guess he's still because
Does he still practice medical?
yeah,
Does he?
he's down in Southern Indiana. Mhm.
Wow. How long has he
Yeah.
been doing that?
Oh my gosh, he's been a physician for, well over 30 years.
Oh, wow, wow,
So, yeah.
well versed. Wow. Why he decided to go for that instead of the engineering?
Um,
Because
I
we're talking
don't
about
know.
multiple engineering degrees. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because at one point after, he had done medicine, like, as he's a practicing physician, he actually went back to Northwestern and got a master's in product development. So I think a lot of his engineering was originally, looking at chemical engineer, bioengineer, that
Gotcha.
kind of thing. And from there it just stuck in the medical field. Not
Gotcha.
to speak of him, on his behalf.
It won't be surprising because I see that what he told his grandfather he wanted to be a doctor. That's at a young age too.
Yeah, that's actually a beautiful story. He had a dream when he was 4 years old, and he woke up and he walked out to his grandfather and he said, I'm going to be a doctor." And his grandfather, was just, and then what happens? And, was always a big supporter of his dreams. A lot of his other, family members would have questioned him, because it's kind of, that rural kind of area of the South back in the day. It would be quite an aspiration to become a physician. But his
Yeah,
grandfather never doubted him. And so, yeah, that was a big proponent of
yeah.
his
You need
successes.
support from folks like that. You know what I mean? You can look to up to, and guide you, and push you. You know what I mean? 'Cause like when I was a kid, I used to tell mom, "Hey, mom, I want to do this. I want to do that." She's like, "Don't say you're gonna do it. Just do it." You know what I mean?
Just do it. That's right. That's right. I think it's so important, it's, when we've got, I guess even for adults, but, particularly for children to just let them sit in those spaces and let them dream big and believe that they can do it. Because when you're little people, they don't have those stop gates. They don't question, they're like, I'm going to do this. It's not until, they get more experiences where they've, had that doubt created. But little people, they're just like, okay, I'm in, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if we can really foster that as, and let them believe that they can, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So Lisa, I see you collaborated with him with this story. Have you written other books?
No, I have not written other books, but out of I've got a strong. I was always the one that wrote little short stories. I wrote short stories. I blog. I journal, that type of thing. And so when he came to me with this idea, I really hadn't expected to be jumping into the middle of it. Um, but out of my background and where my strengths lie, I would be the one to, it wouldn't be outrageous that I would say I would do this, you know. So he basically talked about this story, for, I don't even remember now how long it took us to actually get this thing written. Um, but the story kept evolving. He kept telling me about the story. It was like I was living this story with him, just through the storytelling. He's very much a storyteller. And so during COVID, it's almost to the point where you're starting to feel paranoid because you actually felt like, you were in the middle of this drama. That was taking place inside of Thornton State Prison. I literally, because you're kind of paranoid anyways with the COVID, pieces going on around you. You'd step out of the house, it almost felt like there was somebody watching you, somebody following you. know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and then, and then one day and I never read it. I never read anything that he had written, while he was doing that. Um, and then one day he shows up and he's like, "It's done." I'm like, "It is?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's done." And so he passed it over to me, and it was this just monster manuscript. And I sat down and I read it for the first time, and I was like, I don't know if I should say to you, "Oh my God, that brain of yours is absolutely brilliant. This is amazing." Or if I should be, "Oh my God, that brain of yours is terrifying." Because
Yeah,
this, you know,
yeah. It,
you know,
yeah,
there's
go ahead.
elements within that book, it's a very layered story. It's not a direct from point A to point B.
Right,
My role in this whole production became taking this really large manuscript and putting some structure to it and rewriting it so that you didn't get all the pieces up front. I
gotcha,
was
gotcha.
much more of a, from a reader perspective, putting in some of the, we like to kind of paraphrase it where he's like the meat and potatoes of the
Right,
meal, and I'm
yeah,
the icing on the cake kind of person.
gotcha, gotcha. How much
So,
editing did you do?
I'm sorry.
How much editing did you do?
Oops, wait a minute. We clipped out. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you, Michael.
So how much editing did you do? You revised it how
Neither.
many?
So, that is such a not even. So originally, when I first got a hold of this, I was trying really, really hard just to kind of go in and correct punctuation and grammar and, tweak a couple sentences here and there.
Yeah,
And then I just kind of got to a point, I'm like, okay, this is just not working. This
oh,
this story, the story is amazing, and but it is so not readable.
right, right, right.
So it took a while. It legitimately took a while for him and I to be able to work together. Like I said, at first I was trying so hard, not to make any changes, to his voice. Um, and then it just kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, we're either going to do this or we're not. And,
Right,
so that's when we kind of picked up some traction, and I really started going through it. And it's kind of a fun thing because I've still got these, at one point I had to literally print this book out because it was very disjuncted. Like I said, it's not a linear story. So at some point, there were certain scenes where there's multiple characters moving into different directions, but they're all kind of heading to the same place.
right.
So I actually have photographs of me printing this out, laying them out on the carpet with a pair of scissors and tape, where
Oh, wow.
I'm physically cutting the paper and moving them so that I could get a storyboard created of where we started and where we're heading. So yeah, it was
In a project, good lord.
Well, then we got
Wow.
better, then we got better at it, and it was interesting too because, his first maybe. 100 pages or so were pretty rough. And then all of a
Right.
sudden it was kind of like he got a groove, and his writing and his direction of the story just really picked up. So, yeah, it was.
So how big is this manuscript?
So the manuscript itself, when it was first handed to me, we were almost 600 pages.
Hello, I'm losing you.
And then did he come in?
I was losing you. There was some background.
He was just phoning me,
Gotcha.
which I can't really pick up the call.
Uh,
So in the final version, we ended up we're about 420 pages.
that's a big book. Yeah.
Um, oh shoot, I don't know that he can. I
Uh
guess he's
oh.
having trouble figuring out how to get in.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Well, you can keep talking for him. You're his eyes and ears there. So
You're
yeah, you
supposed
can
to
keep
you're
going.
supposed to
Yeah.
talk with a Mississippi here, Michael. Instead, you just got me.
Hey, you're here. You helped them out, so you know a lot about it. So it's okay. It's okay. So it's over 400 pages. So we're talking about what, 80,000 words or so?
Oh, I would guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fast read though. It can be a fast read. Um, because there's so many shifts in the scenes, like where the
Right.
characters are moving from different places. There's like a lot of we used like section breaks within the chapters so that the
Right.
reader can follow. And
Uh,
so we've had some people. Readers are interesting too. It's like I've had some readers that are just like, man, they just get in there. It is a thriller, and they are from point A to point B, bam.
yep.
They're
Yep.
just going for it. And then we've got other readers that will, really kind of they'll go from point A, and then they'll kind of find these little nuances. It's a thriller, um,
Right.
and
Right.
vengeance is the catalyst. But weaved within that narrative, within that dialogue, you have these moments of like humanity, um, because a lot of times these characters that are in this story, they're not really bad people. They're doing bad things,
Yeah.
but they've been put into these situations that they really, wasn't intentional. So you're still rooting for them, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah. 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 Now, does any of those characters, did you take part in any of those characters? Did you help him with any one of them, or that's all from his mind?
Those characters are all his.
Ah,
Those characters are all his.
interesting. Now, is there one particular character that really got under your skin?
Oh, it's an interesting question because they're all fictional. None of
Right?
these characters are real. But I think as, we went through and that story evolved, you started kind of finding little nuances of people that are in your life, people that you know,
Yeah.
little tidbits of like a response or a posture or, just kind of the way they move about the world. You kind of recognize that in some of those characters.
Right. Interesting. Now, where the Thornton State Prison now, is that a real prison or just some name he just conjured up?
Completely fictional.
Ah.
Yeah, completely fictional.
Now, does it take place in Mississippi or where?
No, it's actually here in Illinois, um,
Okay.
Southern Illinois predominantly, and there's a lot of references made to the Chicagoland area.
Okay. Now, Warden Black, what's going on with Mr. Black?
Warden Block is a very complex character, and you're gonna see a lot more of him um, in book two. He's one of these guys. He's an iron fist. He's an iron
Right.
fist, but there's also this level of what's right and what's wrong,
Right.
and so you don't mess with the warden, you don't mess with his space. And
Gotcha.
he's absolutely opportunistic. You
Uh-huh.
know, he is absolutely opportunistic, but he's also a humanitarian in the sense that he would be the one that would take a stand and say that injustice isn't going to take place here.
Right.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
a very complex.
So I see that you have a what is this? The book. What's going on with that?
So the book is actually a character. He's one of the main characters. Here, Anthony is still trying to get in.
Ah, poor guy.
Do you want me to answer him and try to get him in?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. Go ahead. Try to see. I'm going to put you on mute. See if you can get him in, and I'll bring in Lorraine Carey. Lorraine Carey. She'll
okay,
talk
perfect.
while
I'll
you're
be right
talking.
back.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
be right back with you.
Okay. No problem. Let's see. Do. Well, he's trying. He's trying to get in here to see if she can help him out. Hey, Lorraine, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you clearly. How's it going?
It's going. I guess we're supposed to get another cold front. So I'm very excited about this.
What's a cold front over there? 60 degrees?
You're about right. About 60 degrees.
Little cold front. That's a spring
No, I
day.
think, I think it was one day last week we woke up. It was like 46 in the morning. I mean, yeah, we've had the heat on during those cold fronts, but I think next, maybe like Thursday or Friday, it's supposed to only get up like to the 60, maybe 60 during the day. So that is cold.
Oh,
That's
poor
cold for us.
you. Poor
I
you.
know. We're wusses over here in Florida.
Well, it sounds interesting listening to Lisa Dobry there,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander's partner there. And she's trying to get him in here. I guess he's having trouble getting in, but she's trying. She's trying to see if she can get him in here. But it definitely sounds interesting. What say
The
you?
book sounds very interesting.
Yes, it reminds me a little bit, especially the Wharton Black. It reminds me of a character from uh, from the Stevedores. It reminds me of him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it reminds me of Big John. Remember Big John? Yeah, he was.
I have not read that is on my list. I have yet to read the Stevedores. That's probably going to be my next read.
Yeah, I was reading some of the backstory of it, and it
Uh-huh.
reminds me of Big John. You know that
Oh, Big
power grip
John.
there. You know what I mean? I am the boss type
Mm.
deal.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
reminds me of. Yeah, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Well, I hope she can get Mississippi. I like that name, Mississippi. Instead of Anthony, Mississippi. That's a cool name, Mississippi
So
Alexander.
they're co-authors. They co-authored this book.
Apparently, yeah, she collaborated with him.
Okay.
He wrote it, but I guess she, did. It sounds like she did the editing part,
Gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
grammar and all that good stuff. Yes, yes. But she's as eyes and ears, I guess.
Well, that's good to have someone like that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, so she helped him out, and it's funny because she mentioned the grammar and whatnot, and you figure because of his background in his education, it doesn't mean you're gonna the book that you're gonna write is gonna be all fabulous because he may
That
be
is
good at the
true.
doctor part, engineering, but when it comes to writing, it's a different story. You know what I
It
mean?
is a completely different animal.
Yes, it is, and but sometimes you just forget about the grammar and you just write it, and then worry about the grammar later on.
And that's what I told my students. They were coming up to my desk. I can't spell this. I said, just go on. Forget about the grammar. Get your story done. The grammar, we'll fix that later.
That's right. Well, that's a good thing that Mississippi has his friend there, Lisa,
Yeah.
help him out. Yes, that was a big. I see. I didn't have that luxury, but he did. So it's a good thing that she grasped what he wrote, and she paid attention to all the details, and then helped him out from there. That's a good thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Oh, yes. So talking about that while we waiting, you still do any more writing on that book you're working on?
Oh, the mafia romance?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, you're going to get a chuckle out of this one. Yes, I'm on my third revision. I'll do another revision, and then I'm going to see about, getting it to life. But it was
Nice.
funny because I'm going through it again today, and I have. It's funny, but it shouldn't be funny because at this point I should have it down. I have one of the bad guys who has the other guy's gun. I've got the weapons.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know. So that was fixed.
There you
And,
go.
like I said, just going through it now to make sure that it flows, the content sounds right. And then I'm going to get a street team together.
Gotcha. All right, cool. That sounds good.
People that want to do arc reading. And then when the book does come out, that they would, want to do a review. So I've got one arc reader already ready to go. And I keep telling her, well, it's not ready yet, but normally when you set out to do arc readers, you don't want any more than three because then it just gets, I don't know, there's just too many people and then it gets all convoluted.
Gotcha. Anyway, folks, we're here trying to get Mississippi Alexander author, Mississippi Alexander or Anthony Alexander. He is the author of Prison Doctor, Avenger of Blood. Apparently, he's having issues getting in. His collaborator, Lisa Dobry, was in talking a bit about his work and his background, and she's trying to see if she can get him in here. Let me see if I can get her back in here. See if she helped him get in. Let's see. Hold on, Lala.
He's got the
See,
app
see. Lisa,
downloaded.
you there?
He says he can't hear. I don't know. I don't know where he's at.
Oh wow.
So sorry. So
Wow.
he got tied up. Indiana had a snowstorm, and so their schedule today got really delayed. And
Ah,
when I called him, I said, "Hey, are you all set up for this today?" He's like, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back." And then so
ah.
I
So is he in
apologizing.
the office? Is he home? Is he trying to catch a plane? What is he doing?
No, he's got the podcast. I had him download the Podbean app, find the coffee time with you. He said he's in there, but he can't hear us. He's in the app, but he's not connecting over to actually getting into your in
That
here
is
with
weird.
us.
That is strange.
That
And
is
did
strange.
you give him the same steps you took?
I don't know. Because I'm talking to you on my phone. I couldn't place a phone call to him. I was just texting him. So
Gotcha. So,
I'm
I'm gonna put
sorry.
you on mute again and see if you could see if you could he could follow the steps you took. All right. I'll give you a few minutes there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna put you back on mute.
Okay.
Well, she's trying. She's trying to help him out.
It
Well,
can be
you know this happening,
frustrating.
huh?
It can be frustrating when you can't.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's not the first time.
We go back
You
to the old walkie-talkie. Ah,
we can't use one cup with one string and the other. We can't do that.
there you go. When we were
Not gonna
kids, we used to have the pretend the cans with the
Yeah,
string.
yeah, yeah. That's not gonna work.
That's not
But
going to
it's
work.
strange because it works for others, and then for others, it
Yeah,
just
it's strange.
that's so strange. I mean, it's very easy. Well, for us, it's easy because you should be able to, you know, go right on in it because it tells you. I think the email tells you, doesn't it? Tells you, hey,
Yeah,
this is what
I
you
have, I don't think I've ever had an issue trying to get in with your show here.
Yeah, that's very strange. I don't know. Well, that's technology. That's technology. And him being an engineer,
Could
he should
be,
be able to get in.
could be the sun flares. It could be AI, A1 Atlas or
Could
AI
be anything.
Atlas.
Could
Who
be the
knows?
weather, because she
Yeah.
said they're having
Oh, it's
bad
the
weather over
weather.
there. Yeah, yeah. Could be that. It could be that.
I
Wow.
heard that there was a lot of people due to travel at the airports. A lot of planes were delayed, and traffic
Hmm.
was bad because of the snowstorms.
Yeah, there. It's. I saw that. I've been paying attention to that, and it just
Yeah,
doesn't look good for the north. That's for sure. It doesn't look
it
good.
doesn't look good. No,
No. Wow. So how was your Thanksgiving? Was it any good?
it was okay. We went to my cousin's house, and
Nice.
it was a kind of a chilly day. We took a walk, but just real quiet. I have cousins that live here. We canceled our flight. When the government shutdown first started,
Right.
we had three planes going to Arizona, going to California, going to LA, going to San Diego. And I said to my husband, "No, we're just we're canceling. We're not getting in this mess." So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
we were proactive and we just canceled.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
I
wrong
am
with
I am not going to stand in the airport and for hours and then to realize your plane has been detoured.
that. Yeah, that's why I don't get in planes. It's been a while since I got in a
All for
plane.
that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No
And
planes
then
for
they
me.
even said the trains, there was an Amtrak train. They said that I read this yesterday that actually disappeared.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying that it disappeared. They couldn't find it. It went off I don't think they used radar. And then somehow they said it went off track and then they were rerouting people on buses for a whole, I think, 2 hours. They couldn't locate this train. Is that not strange?
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah.
Tell
Hey,
me.
Mississippi, you there? Hello? He's
I
probably
don't.
talking.
I don't think he made it on.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sorry.
Mm.
He can see us. He can see the podcast. He can see the live. But he
Can he
can't
text
figure out.
us? Can he text?
Can he text? Yeah, I can text.
Can he text onto the show? Can he do that?
So he's got the app downloaded and he can see us live, but he can't seem to figure out how to get in.
He
I
says,
can
"Yes,
see, yeah,
I'm
I can see the
here." I don't know
text.
if that's him. Is that him? Let's
Yes, he
see.
said, yes, I'm here.
He said, "Yes, I'm here." Ah, hello there. Let's see. Yeah, he's trying there. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know why he's having that issue.
He said, yes, I can text.
Alex, what's going on, man? What is going on? Why can't you get in? I don't know. And Lisa, and you get on the same steps you took to get in?
So I can't really have that conversation with him because I'm on my phone with you. So when I call him, I'm
Ah,
trying
so when I put you on
to
mute, did you call him? Well, you
I
can't
did,
call him.
but he
Yeah,
can't
he's
really. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm not really sure. I keep
Now,
trying
does
to
he
get.
have a computer? Let's see what he says. Wish I could be more in the conversation. Yes, yes, it's true. Yeah, that's true. He's trying. Maybe can he? Is he near a computer? Maybe he can get in a computer or something. I don't
I
know.
think you can do it on the laptop as well.
Yeah, see if you can do it on the laptop. See if
Yeah.
it'll work that way.
So I
As
think where
long
the
as he
disconnect
has
might be, Michael, it might be that, he needs to get in as a co-host. And I think that that might be the piece that's missing here.
does he? Did he receive an email? I sent him an email.
Yeah, I sent that email to him to be a co-host.
Yeah, as long as he
There's like
has
a
that, he
little
should
link
be able to
on
get in.
there.
Yeah, as long as he has that email, he should be able to get in. He'll be a guest. That's very interesting.
He says, I have my phone and I can send you tape delay responses to your question.
I have my phone. I can. I just don't understand. It gets, if he received the email, he should be able to get in as as a guest. Hmm. Very interesting.
Hey, so Michael, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna text you. Can you resend him? What I'm wondering is because it's wanting him to go through Gmail or through, Google,
Uh
and
huh.
that email that I had given you,
Yep.
it's different than his actual private email. So maybe that's why it's not letting him in. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, it went
I'm
to a
gonna go
different
ahead.
email address or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and text you his actual email, and maybe you can resend that link directly to him versus me sending it as a forwarded.
I don't know
Right?
if I'll be able to do it from here from the
No.
studio.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Well, we may just have to just keep moving then without him.
Yeah. Alex, what's going on, man? Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
See,
So,
so there's this reason here. So these are the things that, the prison doctor Avenger of Blood with A Mississippi with Lisa Dober. The with Lisa Dober is this stuff.
uh, well, you
I'm
see, you
on
assisted
the
him with the
backside
book.
here filling in the gaps.
Yeah, now you're filling in for him. You know what I mean? So, hey, you're a big help. See, I need folks like that, Lorraine. You know what I mean? Somebody to help me. Man. All right. So, these dark secrets that what kind of secrets we're talking about? Without giving too much away.
Oh goodness. So this story, um, there are multiple plots. There's a lot of twists and turns, and there's things that you just didn't see coming. So these secrets keep unraveling. These connections, how some of these characters are connected, you don't see that. Um, it's not real evident up front, and then there's this crescendo that takes place in multiple parts of the book where it's revealed. And
Right.
some of the characters, you feel so bad for the characters because they had no idea that they were actually entangled in these webs of manipulations and betrayals.
Interesting. Um, I'm trying. I just sent. Let's see. He might be here. Let's see. Let's see. Hello there.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Hey, how's it
Oh,
going?
there
Oh my
he is.
God, this is worse than Sturgis.
Wow. How's it going, man? I am so sorry to get that happen to you. I saw you. I said, let me try to see if I can get him in here somehow. And finally it worked. Wow. Anyway, nice to have
Okay,
you
okay, she's telling the story better than I can, so I'm gonna let Lisa keep going.
I'm
So,
glad you're here so you can start.
Alex, how long did it take you to write the story?
It was COVID and probably about 7 months.
7 months. Wow. Now, how
Yeah.
were you able to work around it with your schedule?
Well, I all the things I do in healthcare as a surgeon are elective procedures, and so in COVID, they wouldn't allow us to do any like I have a busy brain, as she probably has already told you. And I knew I was going to
Yes,
either
she
drive
did.
her crazy or I was going to do something else. And my grandfather
Right.
had encouraged storytelling when I was growing up. And after he passed away, I just sort of lost it for a while.
Right.
And then in COVID, it came back. And
Ah.
so when I came in and said I was going to write a book, she looked at me like I had that third eye in the middle of my forehead. Um, and about 7 months later, I dropped her about 600 pages.
Nice. Wow, that's a lot of pages. Wow. So,
Um,
so you said you talked about it to your grandfather, um, about being a doctor, that which is amazing, and they said you had a gift for storytelling. Did you had something like that back then, or what?
I'm sorry.
You there? Yeah, it says that you had a gift for storytelling. Now, did you have this kind of story set in your mind for a long time, and all of a sudden you just decided to write it, or what?
No, it was more of, like actually when I sit down and when she started reading it, the first like probably 60 or 70 pages, I would have to agree with her. It was just junk. And
It was just junk.
so, and then all of a sudden, I was, like just sort of playing, how you just sort of playing with the words.
Yep, yep.
And then the story started coming together. And then by, after about the 70, after about maybe 75, 80 pages, the story just went.
Right.
And it was to be true to the character. I knew I'd taken enough like basic writing classes when I was in college, to know
Right.
that you're not writing the story as much as you're being true to the characters. And
Right.
then the next part of the step was making sure that you were true to the story.
Right.
And the surprises that came out were just true to the story. And I mean, like,
Yes.
quite frankly, I was a little surprised at some of the surprises. Uh, I know.
So,
Probably don't get many authors who just say it just like that. Like, oh, I mean, there were a few holy shit moments. I'm gonna just say it like it is. It's like, what?
good moments. So how much of James, Dr. James Johnson, is in you,
No,
or vice
no.
versa? None.
I mean, I would say that James is one of those guys who's really complex,
Right.
because life hurt him. And what I mean by that is, he had this idyllic life that was supposed to be this way. I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon, and I got a beautiful wife, and damn, why did she have to die having our child? It's like, what the,
Oh man.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then it's like, why did some idiot come in while I was at work and kill my child?
Oh man.
And so it's like, none of those things happen to me, by the way.
Right. Right.
Oh
Um,
Right.
God, I thought that was true.
No, 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 no. Fiction.
He
It's
sounds
fiction.
convincing, didn't he?
okay, but I have had colleagues that have had bad things to happen to them,
Right.
and so you know that's when it becomes, be true to the character and be true to the story. And
Right.
so it was always, when she and I were working on this, it was always, is this what the story would happen? And at the same time, is this what the character would happen? You know? And so I think this one was fun. The one that we're going to drop in 2026, I think it's going to be more fun, because
Right.
there's more to the story than just in this one. And so
Gotcha.
it becomes one of those where we were having a discussion this weekend about a certain part of the next one. And it's like, this is just true to the story. And I think, as
Gotcha.
my
Now,
grandfather would, go ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up. Go ahead.
As my grandfather would say, when I was doing my storytelling when I was really young, you got to be true to the story because that's real. You
That's right.
know, I mean,
That's right.
you don't have the right to change the story. You have a right to tell the story, but you don't have a right to change the story.
Gotcha. Now, this stuff, does it resemble stuff you experienced, or did you dream about it? What?
Um, some of both.
Right.
Mostly, it was stuff that, you go like, okay, if I take the extremes of my life, then this is what it's going to look like. Okay. And so it wasn't hard to extrapolate if
Right.
I just put the extremes on it. I think, like I said, the important part for me was to know that the truth that I was putting out there was A, realistic, and B, um, something that made sense, or as I like to call it,
Gotcha.
probable fiction. Okay, I mean,
Probable
so
fiction. Yeah.
once, yeah, I mean, once you get into that, and some of the things I've seen, from being a physician for as many years as I've been a physician, you 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 I don't want to say the term cling to it. I really want to say the term,
Right.
you respect the ideals, you respect the authenticity. I
Right.
mean, one of the biggest challenges I had was going back to my colleagues and say, did I portray your specialty correctly? Is this how you would have done it? And, you
Interesting.
know, because I didn't want to disrespect them.
Right.
What
So that was
I
that was
think.
one challenge. And the other challenge was is my width, as I like to call her, Lisa Dobry, um,
Uh,
overcoming the challenge of working with your width. And
gotcha.
both of us have really strong personalities. Now,
Gotcha.
nobody would doubt that. We have a child that proves that. Okay, and so I think that the story, it speaks for itself. And she's right. Lots of twists in there. A lot of things you don't see
Right.
coming. But life is like that. You don't see the twists of life
Yeah,
coming. They just
that's
happen.
right.
When I think if we take this back, one of the comments I had made earlier was that, there's, these characters are finding themselves in a space that they didn't and never expected themselves to be in. And when you think about it, this story really, the catalyst is vengeance, but it's not just vengeance. It's really about transformation. When Dr. Johnson's daughter is murdered, his whole entire life falls apart. And at that stage, the story moves like in this reality of how grief actually fractures one's identity. And it takes you to these it's about these dangerous places in the human mind, that you can go when you don't have the answers, or things have happened that are so far out of your element. And so I think when you're looking at how this book evolved, I think that those were the pieces of humanity, and those pieces, although it's fiction, that's still kind of the mirror of events that kind of take place in one's life, those shocks, and then how do you respond to those shock waves?
Interesting. What you say, Mississippi?
I'm sorry, you kind of clipped.
Mississippi. What you say about that?
I would say that, oh, she's definitely spot on. And especially in the sense of I call it dilemmas. You know, a dilemma is a choice. But if I take the element of time away from you, then it's a forced upon you choice.
Right.
And so on purpose, when we were writing this in collaboration, I kept saying to her, we are taking time out. We are going to force you to make a decision. And, what we've gotten from a broad base of audience now is that it transformed their thinking about what they were capable of.
Right.
It's like you think of, somebody hurts one of my loved ones, I'm going to let the system do its job and I'm going to accept that. Well, what if the system doesn't do its job?
Yeah, it seems to fail people, doesn't it? Huh?
And you have the ability to get in and do what the system didn't do.
Right. Right.
Will you do it? And finally, for me, it's what if you don't care about yourself anymore?
Hmm.
And so you have these abilities, you don't care, you know where the person is. Would you take that opportunity to go do that?
And interesting questions. Interesting.
And
Lorraine,
that's
I got Lorraine Carey here. Lorraine, you got a question for Mississippi here?
Yeah, so the book sounds very interesting. Is this based on or partially based on a true story?
um there's some elements in there,
Okay.
not the death of our daughter.
Oh, right.
Uh but there are some elements in there. I mean, like I've been a physician for 4 decades.
Well, that's awesome.
Okay. And so I've seen some things that I can't unsee.
Yep.
Ah, I get it.
And I watched some family members try to make sense of things, which there is no sense. And
Right.
so, some of it is, as my width would say, the humanity of situations. So that part is true. But the actual story itself, some elements could throw in just because, you can't get away from all of you when you leave the hospital.
Right.
Right. Right.
What say you, Elisa?
It is fiction. so,
It's big.
so this is where he and I go. It is a fictional story. You know, I think like the point he's trying to make is like little elements of your own life kind of show up. You know, it's an
Yeah,
interesting thing. In one of the final revisions, you know, while this book was being written, I had lost my father and my ex-husband within um, 2 days of one another.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
And I was running, you know, it was a double crisis.
oh,
And
Yeah.
so in the final edit of the book, and I hadn't even realized, because this was almost like 2 years after that had happened. There's a line in there where Dr. Johnson finds his daughter. And there's a line in there of him talking to himself. And it was so profound to me because in the final edit, I actually read that line, you know, just proofing, you know, another proofread through the book. And I went, oh my God, that was my voice. That was literally my voice in my head.
wow.
I
Wow.
should feel something. Why can't I feel anything?
Mm.
You know, and so I think that that's, you know, like as writers, when your pieces will show, you know what I mean? Your own life kind of melds in there, even though it's a fictional setting. Um, there's a really cool chapter in there near the back of the book. There's a scene that takes place in a restaurant, and it's a major scene. And I had the pleasure of meeting Chef Robert Gadsby here in Barrington. He has a restaurant, and I didn't want the scene to sound like Lisa Dover was trying to write about food and wine. You know?
Right, right,
So I
right.
reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, can you, you know, would you mind reviewing this scene?" And he sent back this most poetic and beautiful um, description of the Pinot Noir, and that's actually in the book.
Oh,
So, you know,
Interesting.
it's a fictional book, but pieces of your own life kind of, you know, end up showing up there. The story's fictional, but you get
Gotcha.
little things of your life.
So,
and
Mississippi, what was the most surprising thing you learned when you were writing this book?
the most surprising thing that I learned
Yeah.
was gonna, there's a huge difference between a good storyteller and a novelist.
Right.
Okay, I mean, you can be a really good storyteller, but the pieces that come together that make for a reader instead of someone listening to an oral story, that's the part that you really have to let go. And some of the times, when you tell a story, there's a certain amount of repetition in storytelling to make sure the audience is sticking with the story. Whereas that same repetition in a novel will destroy your book because people don't need to be reminded. They need to keep turning the pages. And
Right.
then at the end of it, if, like you get good ratings, people are telling you that the book was really good, you can take away from it that you were a good storyteller, um, but you have to accept the fact that collaboration is the reason why it turned into a good novel.
that is
Nice.
true.
That is true. Wow. So, where can you find this book?
So if you, our website is www.amississippi.com. And on there we have links out to Barnes and Noble, out to Amazon. Um, we've been in some of the smaller bookstores here in the Chicagoland area. We're in a few of the libraries. I know Thrift Books carries us. But yeah,
Gotcha. So,
in
Mississippi, which
fact,
part?
we have this week, if we have some Kindle readers out there, we have a promo running
Oh, cool.
um, for the Kindle. So they can check that out too. That runs, I
Nice.
think, from today through Friday.
Oh,
Cool. Cool.
cool.
So, Mississippi, which character in there is you?
Okay, so the multi-layered, like my wife always says, I'm sort of multi-layered. Um,
Right.
I would say if I had to, all of them are sort of a mixture of me, but The one that probably best fits me is Cypher.
All right. And what is he in the story? What does he do?
Well, he's a decryption specialist.
Okay.
Um, and so a lot of the stuff is like written in code that one of the major characters sends out of prison. And so Cypher he's more than just a decoder. He's more than just a billionaire. He's more of, he gets caught up in his innocence sometimes, and he doesn't even realize that he's tripping over his own feet.
Ah,
But his ideals are, he's very idyllic. He sees the good in situations all the
right.
time. And so he's not going to let life defeat him. But yeah, out of all the characters in there, I would say I'm more like Cypher.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
mean, it would be great to ask Lisa because, she may have a different
I
answer.
asked Lisa, which character in there was her, but I can't remember if she said, she told me anything. I don't know. You there, Lisa?
Which one would be most like me?
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't. I don't know. I don't really. Probably in the tiniest little resemblance. There's a character in there named Liv, and
Ah,
so Olivia. I think the resemblance there would be that she's a get it done kind of girl.
right,
she's
right, right, right.
she's a get it done kind of person. But there's still this playful. you know, yeah. I guess it would probably be Liv.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, Mississippi, I got to bring you back. I got to bring you back for a whole hour. You know what I mean? Because I want to
Okay.
know about you. What say you?
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I got to bring you back because this technical stuff. You know what I mean? We're going to bring you back because I want to hear more. It's very interesting, and maybe you could tell us more about that second book you're writing about.
Well, that's going to be a Christmas present
Okay.
to a
Uh,
certain editing person.
right.
I don't know whether you want to call it a good present or a bad present, but
Gotcha.
you
I've
know,
been harassing him incessantly that we're behind schedule. We're behind schedule.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I'm
well,
gonna
I
bring
mean,
you back because my
I,
time is about run out, but I gotta bring you guys back. What say you guys?
okay, sounds good to me.
Oh, that would
All
be
right,
And
nice,
great.
nice.
Thank you
Let's set
so
it up.
much.
I'm sorry about the technical difficulties early on.
Nah, don't worry. We'll take care of that next time. We'll take care of it.
Okay,
You guys were great. Mississippi, it was nice to hear from you. Lisa, it was awesome to hear from you guys, and I'll definitely want to talk to you again.
Yes,
okay.
great
Wonderful.
guest, Alex and Lisa. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. We so
Thank you
enjoyed
so much.
All
Bye.
right, and I'll share this with everybody, and I'll send y'all the link so y'all can share it as well.
Okay,
All right. Wow, man, they were awesome, man. Mississippi, man, I like that name, man. Mississippi Alexander. Wow, he is the author of Prison Doctor, Avenger of Blood, and his collaborator there, Lisa Dobry. She was cool. She knows more about the book than he does.
I keep telling her that, and she keeps saying, "No, no, no, it was yours. It was yours." I got like, "No, it was my.
Yeah,
It's
you
my."
told her. You sure it wasn't
It,
Lisa that wrote the thing?
yeah, I said, it's my story, but it's your novel.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good one, and definitely bring y'all back. We'll set it up, okay?
Okay,
All right, have a good one.
Good
okay,
night,
thank you.
everyone. Bye now. Bye, Michael.
Bye. Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, check them out. Living Doctor, Extra Blood. Have a good one, everyone. And you know what I say? Don't forget to fall.
Okay.